I know your name, I know you great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Chalanda Deborah and I am here with
Lauryne.
Welcome, Lauryne.
Thank you.
Happy to have you here today.
I'm happy as well.
And welcome everyone to the All Things Unraveled podcast. So this is the very first episode of the Friendship series where I and the people featured really explore different aspects of friendships. On this episode, we will be touching on one topic specifically, which is friendship breakups, which can be tough at times to deal with. There are some breakups that are beneficial to the individuals and there are some that are pretty tragic, and we are going to explore this thing that happens that I'm pretty sure most of us have experienced and really unravel this. It's not a phenomenon, but you know, the thing. Yeah. What happens when within friendship breakups, what leads you to friendship breakups, and basically everything that revolves around it. So, Lauryne, if you feel comfortable to do so, would you like to introduce yourself? Let the people tell the people a little bit about you and what you do, what you're about, and all that good stuff.
So, pause. I was not. All right. So, my name is Lauryne. Je suis en sciences humaines au cégep in psychology. And one thing that's weird about me is that I don't like chocolate. Yeah. Anything chocolate is just not my thing. Yeah.
It's a weird thing, an interesting thing about you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Thank you for introducing yourself now that they know this weird thing about you. Do you know why I invited you to speak on this specific topic today? And how do you feel about this topic, friendship breakups, just in general?
I think it's really important to talk about it because we talk a lot about like breakups, genre couple. But not enough about friendship breakups, and they have a big impact in people, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Why me? Because we've had our little situation, which I think on est bien placé to talk about that together.
Definitely.
And I'm really happy to be talking about this with you. And I think it's a really healthy thing to do.
Yeah, me too. I honestly did not see anyone else that I could speak about this with just because of how healthy it was. Well, not was, because it was not at first. It was not as healthy. No, the breakup was not as cute, okay? Because
but us being able to talk about it.
Exactly, and to have been able to move on from it. I've never had that. I promise you, any friendships that ended, literally, I don't speak to those people anymore.
Can't even say hi.
And no, I mean, I would say hi.
Well,
but
it's just awkward.
Yeah, it would be awkward.
But I would do it, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the same thing. Like, we've reconciled our bond, but, well, anyways, getting there and just doing it every day. But yeah, so basically me and Lauryne, we've been, what? Yeah, for sure, you can drink.
Okay.
Me and Lauryne, we've been friends for, I think, over 5 years, right?
I would say 6, 7.
Yeah, 6, 7. Since high school, the beginning of high school. We actually met through a friend of yours. She was your friend at first before she became my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, that girl.
Yeah,
yeah but...
Yeah,
I would say que, like, how we met was le décaffarine.
Really? Yeah, we actually started hanging out because of that friend we had in common. But then we had this little squad thing going on with other people, and that's when we started hanging out more and more, like during lunch and all that stuff. And so over the years, our friendship just grew. We just got closer slowly but surely. And I'm saying slowly because I feel like we always struggled to just do things together, to be at the same place or to be at each other's house or do things outside of school at first. So our friendship grew really slowly. But once we got close, we got close.
At first, I couldn't even, we couldn't see each other at all. But
yeah. Because we were not at the same place. I was just like...
Yeah.
Doing things. And you were... about the school life. You were on
I was that kid that was on her stuff.
Yeah. And I thought she was really weird. Like
everyone did, because everyone would go out after school,
Yeah.
and then I would go to the library
and hang out,
study
and she would
alone.
Yeah. During breaks, bro, we had 15-minute breaks, and I remember all of us, well, including me, because I was not about the school life, right? I remember I would just be everywhere but except where I needed to be. We had 15 minutes. That break was for you to go to the bathroom, take your books, and get to your next class. Baby, I was all over the place just doing whatever, and I would go see her, and she'd be in her locker taking her stuff out for the next class, and every time I would sit down, I would be like, are you gonna come down to the cafeteria? And then she was like, no, I have to go to the bathroom. She was just, everything was just so organized with you. I know.
That was cute.
Yeah, it was. You were a good kid.
I was. Things changed, but we're back on it.
Yeah, period. We love that. It's what matters, right? To be back on it. Yeah. So, yeah, our friendship was a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful thing. She was my best friend. She was my world, my everything.
Same for me.
Yeah. Like, we were always together. Family functions, we were there. Mine just like hers. So, you guys get the picture, okay? We was close, right?
Yeah.
Until,
you can explain yourself.
yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
It's great.
It's a part of the journey. Yeah. Until I decided to go into this. Well, I didn't decide, but
yeah.
Until I got into this hiding season. If you didn't watch my video, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But I basically just went into this hiding season where I was trying to figure out my faith, understand it better, understand myself better, as everything around me and about me was changing. And I just felt like nothing around me just matched my perspective anymore. I just felt like I felt just lost and confused. And in my mind, the right thing to do was just to shut everything around me and to be by myself, be with God, and really give my all to this journey and try to understand what it is that was happening. So,
okay, can I say something?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll tell you, like, genre, le moment that it actually, like, stopped.
It's gonna come.
Okay,
It's gonna come. Don't worry. You're trying to get ahead of me. Anyways.
No, because you went into that. So, pour moi, c'était comme, it was that. And then after you took that time, c'est comme la manière que moi, je l'ai pris.
Yeah, we definitely had different. That's why I wanted us to speak about this, because friendship breakups, I feel like there's different levels to it, right? Like, there's the acceptance, there's the physical, if I can say, because you're apart with that person, right? You might have not accepted it or acknowledged it, but you're just apart. You guys are not as close anymore. I feel like there's different levels, and
for sure.
Yeah, so that was for me, right? That was the breakup. Oh, child. For me, that was the breakup, because I didn't even see how we could get close again, like become like best friends again after that point, because I promise you, at that time, at that moment, when I tell you that I was very confused, and I just felt like nothing matched my perspective anymore. It's really what I was feeling and what I was living in. And so for me, imagining us being here today, I wouldn't have I couldn't have imagined that.
No,
really.
Me too.
So yeah, when I went into that season or whatever, we stopped speaking for a while, and yeah, that's when it's like we became strangers. Yeah, because we used to speak every single day.
That's true.
That was really weird. It was really weird. Like, to have someone there with you, well, not with you physically, but that you can text all the time, call all the time, talk about anything and everything, to have like that support system. That's really what she was for me, a huge part of my support system. And to not have that, it was like trying to navigate life with no support. I mean, I had family and all that stuff, but it's like,
sounds so sad.
I know, but it was because it's like you weren't there anymore, and I had to learn to like not run to you if there was something.
Yeah, this gonna be deep.
Yeah, I had to. We can get funny when things get emotional. Yeah.
We're gonna work on that today.
Yeah, for sure. Every day. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, that's when I realized that, damn, I don't know how to be there for myself. I always need somebody else's opinion, somebody else's approval, and it's okay to have that from time to time, but I was really
not the base of that.
Exactly. I was really like dependent on you. Not, and I don't think it was not as bad as in like you were a bad influence or something, but
no, I get that.
Yeah, it was tough.
It's just the fact that you needed that.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that it was there.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel weird to me.
Yeah, no, not at all.
We could talk about it like normally. It's not like, oh, Lauryne, I need you now.
It felt normal.
Wow.
It felt normal. Like, and anytime there was something, I would run to you. You know, it was normal. It was just I didn't even think twice about it. Yeah, that's the little background story about a little friendship. We're gonna get more into it in this video, literally, like with the questions and stuff. You guys are gonna get to the ins and the outs of, you know, how you go from
bestie to,
you know,
listen,
to
friends.
Yeah, to strangers and then friends.
Yes.
That's the transition.
Yeah, for sure.
Strangers, friends, which is beautiful. But anyways, yeah. What do you consider?
Okay, go.
What is it that you consider a friendship breakup?
Just the end of a friendship.
Yeah, for sure.
It needs to be like a real friendship for it to be an actual breakup for me. And it's just about a bond breaking, basically. Yeah. So letting that bond go and moving on from that bond.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
Yeah, definitely. It can really be hard to detach yourself from.
How would you describe it?
Me, a friendship breakup, I would describe it as, yeah, like you said, detaching yourself from. I like how you said maybe not the person, but the bond.
Yes.
Because you're attached to that person because of the bond.
Exactly.
So to me, it's really that. When that bond breaks to the point that you don't even feel as comfortable and as safe to go to that person, that's when there's like a friendship breakup to me. Yeah. That's what.
Which the scary thing about it is that it's still the same person behind that bond, but it's not the same bond.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn.
That one hit home because it's crazy how you can go from, it's the same person. You went from speaking to each other every single day and having that strong bond and that strong love and connection to not really understanding each other. But it's like you were still the same person. I still was, but I don't know, something was just different.
For sure.
Yeah. And you can't always grasp on what it is that's different right away.
True.
So that can
and
be
sometimes
tough.
never.
Yeah, sometimes never.
So I'm glad that we got there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm grateful. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's how people be having what's it called? Friendship issues and insecurities and friendships and all that stuff because of unresolved breakups, unresolved situations, and that sucks.
For sure. And I'm really happy that it was like that we were able to make it healthy and like rebuild our friendship, which we're still doing right now.
Yeah.
To see that it is possible because of our past experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
So it feels good. Yeah. It feels healthy.
Yeah.
Even for me as a person, not just the friendship.
Yeah, for sure. It helps me see our growth, like individually and just together.
For sure.
You do look a little bit older. I didn't mention that.
I do?
Yeah. You're like,
wow! Oh my God.
You don't look like
a kid?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Oh, listen. Let me get her.
There's no space for you to get. You really do.
Wow, ça me touche tellement.
Yeah. That
oh shit.
She like a
for real.
Yeah.
On m'a jamais dit ça. Ça me touche.
It's been a while since we've seen each other, so
wow.
Maybe it's the glasses. I feel like glasses make you look older
that's
just
true.
in general. Okay, I'm not gonna take that away from you. You look older.
No, I'm not gonna take off my glasses. So
I said
okay.
I'm not gonna take that away from you.
But I'm gonna keep them. So même si But yeah.
Yeah, you do look older. But
thank you.
So, other than ours, did you ever experience another friendship breakup? And like, how did you cope with that? How did it affect you?
So it has happened multiple times. Just from me moving, or just friendships that did not work anymore. And well, the biggest one for me was a couple years ago. Me and that person, it just did not work anymore. I thought I was trying my best to be there for that person, and that person did not receive it well. So I don't know, we just clashed. Is that a word?
Yeah.
And so it was really hard because we just stopped talking, like, out of the blue. Like, just one day something happened, and then since that day I haven't talked to that person ever, which was really hard for me because that person was really involved in the family and involved in my everyday life as well. So it was really hard, but it wasn't a healthy relationship, a healthy friendship at all.
How come?
So because I was giving a lot of myself and not receiving as much for me, and I did not even realize, because it's kind of a pattern in my life of me just giving, and not a lot of people give it back, or because friendships are exchanges. You have to give something and you have to receive. Definitely. And it would just leave me empty. So when I realized that, I just had to understand why it wasn't working out, and that it wasn't my fault. I can't be guilty for that. I just had to accept how it was and basically move on. So I started writing about it in my journal, or just talking about it with friends or family, and I just got over it slowly but surely. But it was a long road.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's different because it was a bad friendship,
Yeah.
So I just felt like I was in a toxic circle, and I just had to get out of it. And it wasn't hard because I knew that there was nothing there anymore. And it's not like I could reminisce about the past because it wasn't even good. Healthy. It wasn't good. So I knew that this was just done for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you touched on something that is actually really, I don't know, it just stuck to me. The fact that you said you had to understand that it was not your fault. I feel like it can be hard to do, and to understand that if the friendship ended, obviously you might have something to do with it, because friendship is an exchange, and if it doesn't work, it might be 80% because of one person, but you
still had your part.
20% still you know what I mean. And I feel like sometimes we can be harsh on ourselves, and to make ourselves believe that we are the reason, we are the cause for the end of the friendships that we once had. And that can really take a toll on you when you're not aware enough of the value you brought to the friendship. All you see is the bad. True. That can really mess you up. That messed me up for a good moment, to be honest. Like, one of my past friendships, it was my first best friend ever, right? And it ended on bad terms. And from that moment, I've had like little friendship issues here and there, just not with people, but just with myself. Whenever I got into relationships with other people and friendship wise, I always felt like I was the reason, I was the cause for that friendship to end in that way, because of the way the person turned the situation. And she didn't necessarily turn it to hurt me, but it's just I don't know if it was the way she coped with that thing at the time, but it's like I was expressing myself and she was not receiving it, and that made me feel like I was really pushing to apologize and to get her attention and to just have a conversation, when she felt like she didn't do anything wrong and there was no conversation to have. I held on to that a lot, and I always felt like I was a bad friend, and that stuck with me for a long time.
I could see that.
So yeah, it's really good that you were able to see that you were not the cause for the end of that relationship, that it was tied to much more than.
Well, my situation was similar to you in certain ways, because like, that person kept wanting me to hear them, but so I thought I was wrong for trying to be heard as well.
Yeah, I understand that.
And I didn't know where to put myself because I know everything that person is going through, but at the same time I wasn't in a good place as well, you know. And this is why friendships cannot be your overall, like, everything in one person.
Oh yeah,
you have to have different people for different things, because having just that one person that you just give everything to is just too much for that person and yourself. And it's and then when you lose that, you're just left with nothing.
That is such a good point. There has to be balance in friendships. Balance with what you give to people and what other people give to you. There has to be balance, because it's good to have like a close friend to whom you can say everything to and all that stuff, but we're human beings, right? We can only tolerate so much. We can only deal with so much. We have our own life to deal with. We have other people around us, maybe that we might be helping, and then you have that friend who comes to you for everything, and you just feel like you have to help that person because you love them so much. And friendships can be hard, okay?
Listen,
it can be complicated.
And you have to set your boundaries.
Setting boundaries, a big thing. A big thing. Yes. Did you feel like you had to set boundaries when that friendship ended, or in another friendship breakup? And what did that look like? Like, what did those boundaries look like?
Well, I think that was a problem for that relationship, because I didn't set boundaries, and it's actually a hard thing for me to do, okay? Because I just feel like I can support everything and just be that person that just can handle everything, but I really can't. And I realize that now, but because I'm the type of person that, like, you don't even need to tell me, like, your boundaries. Like, I'll like analyze you and try to understand you to my best, that, like, I'll just try to not cross anything, or you don't even have to tell me twice usually. And so I would expect the same.
For sure.
Which is it's not fair to other people, and to myself. I owe that to myself to make it clear that I just, certain things I can't accept, or I would need certain things. For sure.
I feel like boundaries is something that you set in friendships and in any relationships.
I don't even know if I answered your question.
Oh no,
sorry.
It's okay. No, you did.
Okay,
you did, but in another angle.
Okay.
You know, but because I asked after the breakup, right? You went in the friendship. That's why I feel like it's good when you set boundaries in friendships and any kind of relationships, but it's also good to set boundaries outside of the relationship. Like, once it's over, right? Once you guys broke up, even in romantic relationships, because we know that in romantic relationships, it's like you might have to block that person, because what if you get sad and you decide to call that person? You might have to remove them from social media or the people around them so you don't have to see them as much. So that plays a part in it too. And I feel like we don't really talk about those things, just setting boundaries outside of a friendship breakup. Like, once it's not outside, but once the friendship has come to an end, what can you do to prevent yourself from putting yourself in a situation where you are in need of that person but can't reach them, or putting yourself in a situation where you could reach that person when you're not even supposed to, not because it's not healthy for you or for them, and just ways to help you deal with it in a healthier way.
I think you would be the perfect person to answer that question, because the way I am, it's like, in friendships, I'll just remove myself completely. And honestly, it's not a problem for me. Like I'll just take time to think about it and actually process my feelings, and just taking time for myself. I don't need to block that person. I can still see them. I don't have an issue with that. But I resent that person.
Oh, that's
so
not
it
good.
is not good. Like, I don't do it as a, let me be healthy. I just, that's how I feel about you right now, and I'm gonna just stay my way. I just need to learn how to not be resentful and still go into my space of actually thinking about it. So I'm working on that right now. So
I used to be like that, to be honest. I used to be like that, but I'm someone who gets attached really easily to people, right? So for me, it can be really hard to detach myself from the memories and the people, you know? So some boundaries that I set, it's all in the head for me personally. I really try to be reasonable with myself. It's, if I'm not supposed to text that person, even though I still have love for them, I will tell myself that, what's the point of texting them or reaching out to them at this moment, knowing that you're not in a good space, knowing that whatever you guys had before is not there anymore. And it's not that you can't reconstruct that bond right now or maybe in the future, but it's just that now is not the time.
That's good.
You have, like I try to tell myself that give myself time. To give myself time, because when I feel like when you try to fix things is when it's not the right time. You know, I feel like you really got to rely on God's timing and let things happen naturally. That's the key for me. You know, I know that whenever I'm trying to push things to work, try to tweak things, you know, that it's not the right time. I know that it's not the right time. So whenever I feel like I'm doing a lot or too much, I start talking to myself. Talking to myself, trying to understand the situation and give me valid reasons not to reach out to that person or not to feel a certain way. We try.
Doing it.
Yeah. Did our friendship breakup, or maybe the other one that you had that really took a toll on you, did it affect your faith in solid and transparent female friendships? The strong ones, you know, did it affect it?
No, because I mean, it just hurt me in general, but it did not affect my perspective, just because I keep thinking about like my cousins, because we keep a really great bond, which makes me feel like it is still possible, because my friendship bonds were similar to those bonds I've had for a long time. When I get really close to someone, I really consider my friendships like family. Like, I don't differentiate them. Yeah. I'm still open to it. Like, I still believe in it. I'm not seeing it negatively.
Yeah.
So, not really.
Yeah. That's good, though. That's good, because some people leave friendships scarred as heck, and they can't trust people anymore. They can't create strong bonds anymore, and they just can't get along with people. And it happens a lot to women, I think.
What about you?
What was the question? Female. If I have lost hope in female friendships, no, not at all. No, because I feel like we lived something that was so beautiful and genuine that it's not that I would want that with anyone else, but it's just that I know it exists, you know?
Sure.
I know it exists, and I don't know. I'm confident that... But one thing that maybe has changed is I'm not as open to meeting new people. Like, not meeting, but like letting them into my life. I'm not as open as before, because I feel like I still have you, I still have another friend, like, as if that was a lot, but you know,
no, it's listen,
someone once
that's
said,
a lot for us.
if you can count your friends in one hand, you're more than blessed.
Listen.
Because you don't need more than that, and that is very true, because friendship,
it's just that we stop
problems.
You know, we have a whole hand.
Yeah. No, not a whole, like less than half. It's okay.
We're working on that.
I kind of feel secure with what I have, which is like keeping me. It is, but I'm not open to letting new people in. So that kind of sucks, but I feel like it'll happen at the right time, you know? I will meet, I don't know who, and we will get along, and I don't know where it's going to go. But for now, honestly, I'm grateful. I thank the Lord, because my support system and the friends that I have right now, I'm good with. I'm content. So I have not lost hope. And I believe that anyone who has, it's really all in your head. There's a lot of things that you need to work on within yourself to be able to get out of that place. But it exists, okay? Good female friendships, strong ones, where you can get transparent, where you can cry, where you can go to that person for anything. It exists.
It does.
We lived it. We know it's true. We've never had no drama about she said this and he said that.
That's
and
true.
that says a lot about our personalities as well, like our characters. So, yeah.
We could just talk. That's what I love.
Yeah.
Like, I feel something, you feel something, you talk, I talk.
Yeah.
And we're open.
Yeah. And I really like the fact that you're someone who likes to find solutions. Like, I really admire that, to be honest, because when I was trying to step out of the friendship, I came to you and told you what were my beliefs and just where I stood. And you were really open and you tried to find ways to make me comfortable in a friendship. You were like, okay, so what can I do like you? What can I do to make you more comfortable? Are there some boundaries that I can't cross? Can we set some boundaries? What are some things you'd like to work on the friendship? Wow. Yeah. You did a lot. I didn't realize that at that moment because to me it was just like, it's over. But looking back, it's like, damn, that's what you do when you really love someone. You hold on to them dearly and you try to make things work. And I feel like that's something that made this breakup not as harsh, maybe. It was hard to go through, but maybe not as harsh to process, just because the love was still there and we were still trying to do things correctly, even though we were not at the same place.
Exactly. No, I agree.
So that definitely helped.
For me, it did not make sense to like end it like that.
Yeah.
So I was really confused because it was really like a conversation. Like just... Est-ce que j'explique la situation?
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, it was just the fact that she was feeling down about something. I forgot what it was. And then she wanted to talk to me, but she ended up talking to someone else. And she was telling me about it and how it made her feel good. And that she doesn't know if it's going to work long term if we're not at the same place where she is and where I was at. Well, she was and what... all of that, whatever. Yeah. And I got offended at first. I was like, oh, are you telling me that? So if you're telling me that, is that like there's not actually potential in us being friends?
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, if you're saying that, maybe that's what we're supposed to do. And then that's how it started at first. But then we decided to talk about it. And I was like,
it was really sur les émotions. We were speaking on our emotions and
and it was just not worth it, because it's things that like we could just set boundaries and like make it work. Just the things we used to do, just not do them anymore, or like do things differently. Whatever I'm doing, if you're not comfortable with, I could change that or make you comfortable with what I do, and same for you. We can just adapt and find ways to find each other at a certain point.
That was her mentality, which I really admire. But me, I was not there. Okay, I was not trying to make things work, but she was, and that's like I said, it's big to understand that.
It is even for me. Listen,
where man, that just proves that it was real love. Yeah, it's love. But that just shows that it goes to show that no matter where you are in life, whether it's in friendships or relationship, whatever situation you're in with another individual, there's always going to be moments of hardships, and there's always going to be challenges that you're going to have to go through, that you're going to have to overcome with that partner, right? And it takes that maturity and it takes that willingness to overcome that situation. You have to be able to put your pride aside and to put yourself in the other individual's shoes, and to understand that, to make that person feel understood.
For sure.
And to make compromises. And that's what you really try to do, to make compromises. And that's what people need to do before breaking up in friendships, you know, because sometimes it's really just miscommunication, and that can lead to
a lot of the time.
Yeah, a lot of the time. Especially with women. I have a thing with women. Anyways, we're special, but
definitely.
Yeah. So sometimes it's really just about taking the time to understand each other and making compromises. So, yeah. Can you tell me and tell us, what are some of your major learnings about friendship breakups?
Well, for me, it's just communication and just making sure that you guys want the same thing, because sometimes it's not even worth it to like try to make it work or whatever, because you're not gonna get anything good out of that relationship, just because people are gonna grow, and you just have to make sure that the people around you want to grow and
with you as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the same path, you know, maybe not exactly the same things, but just making sure that you don't want to stay in the same place forever, especially because we're young, you know, like this is our transition phase, and we need to grow. Like it's the period to grow and actually learn and, you know, get better
at
for
everything.
future.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can help the other person from a distance, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
It's the balance.
Yeah. Not being necessarily there every single day like you used to be there before, but find new ways to just still support that person, but in a different way. And I feel like that's the transition that we're in.
For sure.
Yeah. To really learn how to be there for each other and be present in each other's lives for the big events, just like the small ones, to be there to support each other emotionally and all that stuff, but in a different way, because the relationship is different as well, right? The love is still there, still the same and all that stuff, but things have happened. We've changed, we've grown, we're still transitioning, we're still growing, we're still learning, we're still figuring things out. So it's all that. It's a mix. It's really a mix, and I'm happy that we get to learn and go through this transition together in our friendship, just like individually.
Me too.
Yeah. I'd like to ask you, do you have any tips and tricks to help people who might be struggling with friendship breakups at the moment, or people who might be holding resentment on some of the past situations they've gone through regarding friendship breakups?
Well, first of all, you have to work on that, because holding a grudge or resentment is something that can affect you with everything. And you can't carry that with every relationship and, well, your whole life, work and whatever, because you're just going to be stuck and you're not going to be able to grow as much as you want, because it's always going to be there, and you have to take the time to actually acknowledge what you're resenting and forgive and forget. Yeah. Because we like to say we forgive, but we don't forget. That. Then you don't forgive.
Exactly.
To forgive, you need to forget.
Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Yes. And also just be real with yourself and the people around you, you know, about how you're feeling, and love yourself enough to actually accept how you feel, and, you know, it's just what it is.
It starts with you.
Yeah,
it starts with you.
Definitely. Don't just quit right away.
Yeah.
If it's really important to you, you know.
Yeah, if the friendship matters to you, fight for it. Like, don't go to war or nothing. If it's worth it, definitely. And if it's a healthy friendship.
Yes.
But fight for the things that you want. You know, it's okay to love someone and still want them in your life, even though things are not necessarily working out the way you expected it to work out.
For sure.
Those are the moments where you just need to put in more work, you know?
For sure.
That's it.
That's true.
Yeah. So this was a very fruitful conversation that we had about friendship breakups, and I am really glad that you came on here with me today to speak about that.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you for coming. Yeah, she really made it work to be here today, and I really appreciate that. Now that we've unraveled all things on friendship breakups, maybe not all things, but things that we've experienced.
For sure.
I really hope that you can take something away from this video, from our experience, and understand maybe how to navigate through friendship breakups, and understand that it's not always for the worst. Sometimes it can be for the best. Thank you all for tuning in to today's episode, and I will see you all on the next episode of All Things Unraveled.
Bye.
I know your name, I know you great. Yeah.